the very fact that there are so many people out there on the streets every day putting their own lives at risk to save our lives should help us understand that it's so important for us to stay home. I get very irritated with people who say I'm bored. जो धरती से उगता है वो वापस धरती में जा सकता है. I want to act. I want to be a part of good work. I want to be a part of good stories. I want to work with good people. Marriage is an institution. There are many things that keep it going, and there are certain things that disallow it from its continuance. हर चीज का वक्त आएगा. I'm in no hurry. I'm not a part of this race. I will never be a part of a race. Stay active, stay happy, and know that we're in this together and we shall overcome.
Hello to everyone who's joining in. My name is Rudrani and I shall be in conversation with Diya Mirza today. Hello!
Hi! কেমন আছিস?
আমি ভালো আছি. How are you?
খুব ভালো.
Let me begin by getting the details of why you've been busy. You've been doing a lot of work for the society, and that is required. So I'll start off with that. First of all, how are you doing? And tell us about the work, how you really went into it. I know a little bit about it, but please tell us.
I think the first thing that is natural to immediately recognize is when a lockdown happens is what needs to be put in place and what needs your immediate attention. It starts with home, your immediate geography that you occupy, so the apartment space, and then of course the apartment complex that I live in. We have many senior citizens, but there are about 3 people who live completely alone. They have part-time domestic help, but obviously with the lockdown that had to be discontinued for the right reasons. Domestic help have as much right to safety as we do, and it's best that they also stay home, stay safe, just as we do. But age is daunting, especially for those who otherwise lead. I mean, all of these people, the truth is, Rudrani, they're all so independent. And so one of the first few things that we needed to recognize as a cooperative was, how can we make sure everybody's safe? How can we make sure essentials, because the first 2 weeks also were essentials were also inaccessible to us, the privileged.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to get into what was happening on the ground because I think we're all privy to it. हम सबको पता है कि कितने लोग कितनी मजबूरियों से गुजर रहे हैं और गुजर रहे थे. But the thing is that you need to very quickly say, okay, this is the problem, how do we solve it? One of the unsung heroes of this lockdown are the security guards of our buildings. They have really come through for us at a level that is unimaginable. Then of course, figuring out systems to make things accessible to the elderly in the building. In the beginning, we would be doing runs, partnering with another person in the society, going to the market, consolidating lists, going to the market, picking it up ourselves, coming back, and then kind of informing every flat member to come down individually, follow the health protocols, maintain distance, sanitize hands, all of that. It's work. But I'm happy to tell you that we are a building of people who truly understand the cooperative spirit.
For the ones who are saying you're getting bored, I wonder that as well, because with your managing your own lives and with helping others, like you said, I don't think there is time to.
There's no time
bored.
for boredom. I get very irritated with people who say I'm bored.
Yeah.
Because I think if we really want to fill our time with purpose, there is enough that we can find to do purposefully. I always say that yes, it's important to put our health first. We have to take care of ourselves. We must not risk and jeopardize our own health. But if we're sensible, rational, logical about the way we go about supporting other people,
Yeah.
then we can continue to do that even at these times, and even more so at a time like this. Because if we don't help each other now, I don't know when we will. The very fact that there are so many people out there on the streets every day putting their
Yeah.
own lives at risk to save our lives should help us understand that it's so important for us to stay home, but also just value what people do for each other,
Yeah.
every day.
But how have you been sort of been positive throughout? What has helped you? And also from the time that this happened, to the, tell us about the time when this, when this was announced, when the lockdown was announced, or it was even we came to know about the pandemic becoming like this. How, what are your observations from that to today? When we are almost like few weeks into the lockdown.
To be honest, Rudrani, when the health advisories had started in the country, I'm talking about the early phase of it.
Yeah.
I had access to it, and I was one of the first early, perhaps, people who found out because of my associations with the United Nations, and the fact that I'm constantly keeping in touch with the UN headquarters, the UN office in Delhi. We knew that this situation was going to unfold. Of course, we also knew that every day would be different, that
Yeah.
there was no way of knowing for sure. But I think it was just rational thought that suggested the health advisories would very quickly evolve into lockdowns, because that was the only way we could contain this virus. In the meanwhile, I had to go to Hyderabad to shoot Wild Dog, my film with
Hmm.
Nagarjuna sir.
Correct. And we
And
discussed about it, I remember.
and it was because of the health advisories, the global health advisories, that they had to reshuffle their dates, move the shoot to Hyderabad. I was supposed to start shooting in the middle of March. Dates were pulled back, and our producers were dealing with all kinds of issues. And their request was that we come to Hyderabad and shoot. And this was the early week, like the first week of March. And it's crazy, Rudrani, how when you become conscious of the fact that you shouldn't be touching anything
Yeah.
or your face, you start realizing how many surfaces are transferred or touch is transferred from
Yeah.
surfaces or people to people contact in a day,
Yeah.
especially when you're on a film shoot. So we started making jokes about it, literally, because there was no other way of dealing it. Otherwise, we would have all like really started suffering anxiety. So we stayed calm, we did our work, we wrapped up our work ahead of schedule. We were all very grateful and happy that things went to plan and everything was fine. And I think we got back to Mumbai on the 6th or the 7th of March. And that was it. I trust the government. I believe they will come through for us. And they really have, Rudrani. I think
Yeah.
that while people have not, there's, it's amazing how they have come through for us. The essentials providers, the kirana stores, the vegetable vendors, the now, of course, there's so many online services also that have restarted, that had stopped.
Yeah.
There are apps at work. Technology is really helping people get what they need at their gate. Whether it is the artists community who's contributing to like organizations, whether it's the Chief Minister's Fund or the Prime Minister's Fund or NGOs or people who are feeding and rescuing
Yeah.
abandoned animals. I mean, it's crazy how many people are abandoning their pets right now because they're scared that their pets carry COVID. And I think while there is this is a challenge, and WHO describes it and the UN describes this as a world war, it is a war against a virus. There is something that I always do in my meditation after I'm done. I repeat 3 times: I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. And I
Beautiful.
think, uh, yeah, that's what keeps uh, me centered. It also
Yeah.
helps to be surrounded by biodiversity, to be able to look at beautiful plants with flowers and the birds in the windows.
Yeah.
Something that I enjoy year round, but I'm enjoying so much more right now because I feel like, whether it is a piece of open sky or it's a flowering plant or it's just visiting birds or bird song, these are things that are giving, or sunshine, just soaking in some sunshine, being able to look at the moon every day. These are things that I'm mad I do every day anyway. But I think
Yeah.
at this time, everything, everything from the natural world feels so much more uplifting. So there's a silver lining in nature that is so visible.
Yeah.
While I think that's what keeps us sane and safe and balanced.
That's what I said one of the people who is really utilizing this time, which you always have been in, is you. So probably the ones who are hearing, please, take tips from what she just said. This is the most interesting way to right now utilize the time that we have. So tell me, how's family been? How are you communicating with friends? Who are you in touch with? How's that?
Technology. So mom and I are housemates, as we've always been. We also have one live-in help, but the good thing is that we're well planned and we're disciplined, so we finish most of our chores in the first half of the day. There's of course some amount of bartan and filling water and all of that happens in the second half as well, but all our cooking work and all of that gets done in the first half of the day. And talking to friends, I think um, between so I'm doing a lot of creative work, that meetings, because we're privileged and we can continue the work that we are doing.
Sure.
So a lot of the creative meetings, writing meetings, casting meetings, just reading scripts, understanding what is happening, how we're taking things forward. There's some projects that are under development, that were obviously under development before the lockdown. Now we're trying to assess how we're going to use this time constructively to get to a stage where, whatever the outcome and however long this takes, we are using our time most productively. So there's all of that happening. Then of course there is some demand for time from good folk like you who want to use this opportunity to spread some positivity and love. I started a little thing myself, which I've been meaning to do for many years, but just never got down to doing it. A live on every Wednesday called #Down to Earth with D. So I'm talking to colleagues and friends who share a common passion for nature. And I'm going to lead it up to Earth Day, which is on the 22nd of April, and hopefully continue it, because the theme of World Environment Day this year is biodiversity. If we can find a way to compost our kitchen waste, जो धरती से उगता है वो वापस धरती में जा सकता है. So try and find a way to start composting the waste. There are so many easy ways to do it. All that information is available online. Just go figure it out and start doing it.
So Rakesh is asking, what's a skill that you possess that you're glad you have?
I can cook. I think it's a very important skill to possess. My mom, I'm a single child. So when I was a child, my mom used to always tell me, you should, if you could find a way to learn how to build a home, make your own furniture, grow your own food, cook it, eat it, and survive.
Maheshwari says that we want to see you more in movies. So what are the other ones that are coming up? I know you spoke about the Nagarjuna one.
And I'm saying since Sanju because before that I had taken a conscious break, in the sense that I was just not, we've had this conversation before, I was just not getting interesting work opportunities. And I think at some level, because I was running a production company and I produced a film without myself in it, the general perception was that I am not interested in acting anymore. Because as an artist, all you want to do is be a part of stories.
Yeah.
And I was not obviously willing to be a part of stories that didn't call out to me and that I didn't want to, that I didn't enjoy. So yeah, I was picky. I did get some work offers that I didn't want to be a part of. So I said no to those opportunities. And then after Sanju, I think what happened was people realized, oh, she is interested in acting. She wants to act. And then Kafir came along.
Yeah.
Which was a wonderful experience and an opportunity to be a part of a story that really gave me a chance to sink my heart into something and my soul into something. And I'm very grateful that it's resonated so deeply with audiences. And our collective work was appreciated so much. I think, and then right after Kafir, Thappad came along.
Yeah.
And again,
Which
I
was
was grateful to be amazing, and I was really grateful to be a part of a story that was talking to all of us in such a wonderful way. And I was very excited to work with the talent on that film. All the actors are just such extraordinary artists and people. And then, of course, I was collaborating with Anubhav after many years. I don't know whether you know this, but I did one of my first few music videos with him when I was very young. I was 18. It was a song with Sonu Nigam, and
correct.
then we did Cash and Dust together, which were like these big blockbuster feature films. I want to act. I want to be a part of good work. I want to be a part of good stories. I want to work with good people. And it doesn't matter whether I'm playing a mother of a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old or a 25-year-old, or I'm playing my age, or I'm playing my age that is 3 times my age, or I'm playing a teenager. It doesn't matter as long as the story works and the director sees me in a part.
जिन लोगों को पता नहीं है, मैं ये बोलना चाहूंगी कि दिया सिर्फ अपने प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में ही शी इज नॉट that she's taking these decisions because she knows that this is the kind of role that she wanted. You always walk the talk, even when it comes to your personal life. मुझे पता है बहुत लोगों को ये लगता होगा पर्सनल प्रोफेशनल लाइफ बैलेंस करने में इश्यूज होते होंगे. You've been in a situation when you separated with Sahil. I'm sure you went through a lot, but the way you all did it, but there was so much grace, and I'm sure you made it look easy. But I want to tell, I would, it'd be great if you could share how you went through that and tell them that it wasn't easy, but the way you all handled that was amazing.
I think these things are so relative, and it's so much about what kind of people you are. I think one thing that we consciously never did was to use our relationship for commercial purposes.
Yeah.
We never commodified our relationship consciously. So we never did photo shoots for magazines. We never did ads together. We didn't do these things because we just believed that we needed to keep a space that was necessary.
Yeah.
And I think while people connected so deeply with us as a couple, and so many people reached out to us with such a sense of genuine heartache for us, for both of us. And there was so much love in every message, like genuine love, that I think even though it was so difficult for both of us, we drew so much strength from the support that we received from everyone. And it was so genuine and so well-meaning and so honest that we were actually overwhelmed for days. We were like, wow, we would not have ever imagined how many people cared so deeply for us as individuals and as a team. And Rudrani, I think marriage is an institution. There are many things that keep it going, and there are certain things that disallow it from its continuance. But that doesn't mean that two people have to stop caring for each other, stop respecting each other.
Absolutely.
And I think what has really helped all of us. And because Sahil and me are not individuals only, right? Our families are interconnected. There's
Of
just so
course.
many relationships there, and we've managed to keep. I don't know how successfully, I'm not sure whether we've been great at it, but we've done our best to ensure that we haven't allowed anyone in our sphere to feel disrespected. And most importantly, both of us. I think it's just so important for us to have uh, respected each other, continue to show that respect, and hopefully we will always be like that with each other because, um, yeah, that's the only way to do it. There's no other way. And I think that gives you a lot of strength, because you realize that at the end of the day, what really pains people or hurts people a lot is not just um, picking up the threads and restructuring your life, because everything changes.
Yeah.
Uh, Everything.
Before we wrap it now, we'll take a last question that is sent by Rakesh, who says, which are the characters or roles that remain closest to you?
I went through a phase where I didn't want to be the leading lady in films,
I know.
because I felt very underutilized and I felt very stupid because of the kind of parts. Uh, so also I think I needed to be perceived as an actor. I
Hmm.
wanted to be not just a pretty face, and that must have been because the reviews for the films may not have been great in terms of performance in the early days. Even though audiences love so many of those films, but I took it very personally. You know, the bad reviews I took really personally. So in Rebellion, I did films like Tehzeeb, with Shabana Azmi, Arjun Rampal, Urmila Matondkar,
Yeah.
where I played a character called Nazneen. Khalid Mohammed directed that film. Santosh Sivan was the cinematographer on that film. A.R. Rahman had done the music. It was a very, very important experience. There's another film that I did along around that time called Naam Gum Jayega. I think if I had to choose a third experience as a very, very powerful one, it would be Love Breakup Zindagi. And performing Naina, playing a part that I really enjoyed, that was so real and so true to maybe the closest to the person that I am. Naina's
Yeah.
character is actually very much like me, the real person.
You.
So much so that one of my own paintings was used in the film. So many of my own books and paintings were used as a part of my,
Character build up,
apartment,
right?
character's apartment. Yeah. Parinita, Lage Raho Munna Bhai.
You
I
did.
give you a list of films that I was a
Yeah.
part of where I never operated from a place of ego. I
Yeah.
just wanted to be a part of good stories, and it never bothered me once when people said आपको तो इतना छोटा रोल मिला और भी बड़ा रोल करना चाहिए था. It's like हर चीज का वक्त आएगा. I'm in no hurry. I'm not a part of this race. I will never be a part of a race. जे कृष्णमूर्ति के स्कूल गई हूँ भाई, मुझे तो रेस में भाग लेना आता ही नहीं.
On that positive note, remember what she just said. जो भी देख रहे हैं interview उनको याद रखिए, and that we have some really inspiring words from Diya. As always, I absolutely adore her, and she knows that. Diya, would you like to end this chat by telling all the people who've joined us, and thank you for everybody who joined us today, including Diya. Tell them what you think of. We have few days more left of the lockdown. It might, we'll come to know if this carries on, and of course, with the situation today, what would you like to tell them?
I would just like to say, don't overthink how long you may have to stay home. Just, and that's what I do. I'll only share what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Think about how grateful you can be for everything that you have right now. And stay active, stay happy, and know that we're in this together and we shall overcome. And if we can find a way to be purposeful and spread joy in our own little way, whatever way, every day, we might actually discover we can be really happy staying home. And we are heroes. We are all heroes for staying home because this simple act of living within the confines of our homes right now is saving lives.
Yeah.
So know that you are a hero just for being home.
On that note, bye, Diya. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.